the annual White House picnic for military families, hosted by President Trump and First Lady Melania.
Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle have been engaged for a year.
At a high-profile event, all eyes were on Donald Trump Jr. But no one expected Kimberly Guilfoyle to steal the show in the most shocking way possible. In a dramatic moment that left the entire world speechless, she suddenly grabbed Don Jr. Awes Mike, sending waves of speculation through political circles. Was this a bold power move, an unscripted outburst, or a reaction to something far more shocking? Whatever the reason, this unexpected moment has everyone asking, what really happened? Let's dive into the full story behind this jaw-dropping incident. The rise of a power couple. From the moment Kimberly Guilfoyle and Donald Trump Jr. publicly announced their relationship, they became an unstoppable force in the conservative political world. Their partnership wasn't just about romance. It was a merging of influence, ambition, and shared loyalty to Donald Trump Sr.'s political empire. To many within the Republican Party, they symbolized strength and unity, a power couple perfectly aligned with the MAGA movement's mission. Kimberly wasn't just another political partner. She was a dynamic force in her own right. With a background as a prosecutor and a commanding presence on television, she brought sharp intellect, fiery charisma, and an undeniable ability to connect with audiences. Her speeches electrified crowds, making her a key asset on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, Don Jr. carried the weight of the Trump legacy, embracing his role as one of his father's most vocal and aggressive defenders. His unapologetic, hard-hitting rhetoric made him a hero to Trump's base. Together, they presented a powerful image of ambition, influence, and purpose. To outsiders, their relationship seemed unshakable, built on mutual admiration and a shared political vision. When they first got together in 2018, right as Trump's presidency was hitting its stride, their public appearances exuded confidence. Kimberly's speeches often highlighted Don Jr.'s dedication to his father's movement, while Don Jr.'s social media showcased moments of affection, partnership, and unity. Their relationship became a political tool as much as a personal bond, reinforcing their image as a strong, loyal couple committed to the same cause. Then came New Year's Eve 2020, when Don Jr. proposed. Instead of making a grand public announcement, they kept it private, choosing to enjoy their engagement away from media scrutiny, for a while at least. But timing is everything, and when they finally revealed their engagement, it wasn't just a romantic gesture. It was a carefully planned move, coinciding with the build-up to Trump Sr.'s 2024 re-election campaign. Their relationship became part of the campaign narrative, with Kimberly stepping into an even more prominent role, standing beside Don Jr. at rallies, fundraisers, and major political events. Despite their outward success, being a high-profile political couple came with immense pressure, relentless media attention, campaign stress, and the expectations of Trump's inner circle placed constant demands on their relationship. Yet for years they maintained a strong, united front, convincing many that their bond could withstand anything. Supporters saw them as a couple to admire, a duo that thrived in the face of adversity. Kimberly's evolution from media personality to political powerhouse was nothing short of remarkable. No longer just Don Jr. Tararara's partner, she had become a key player in the Republican Party, someone the campaign relied on for her presence, influence, and ability to rally the base. She was no longer just supporting the movement, she was helping lead it. But even the most powerful couples have cracks beneath the surface. As the 2024 election approached, subtle signs hinted that not everything was as perfect as it seemed. Whispers of tension, unexpected moments of distance. Something was shifting. Yet their impact on the campaign remained undeniable, keeping them in the spotlight as one of the most influential pairs in conservative politics. Their rise had been meteoric, their presence undeniable. But was their foundation as strong as it appeared? Before unraveling the twists and turns that would shake their seemingly unbreakable bond, let's take a step back. Who is Kimberly Guilfoyle? Where did she come from? And how did she become the woman who would stand at the center of one of the most talked about political relationships in recent history? Kimberly Guilfoyle. Early struggles, loves, and transformations. Kimberly Guilfoyle's story is one of relentless ambition, resilience, and transformation. Born on March 9, 1969, in San Francisco, California, she was raised in the Mission District, a melting pot of cultures that shaped her dynamic personality. Her parents, Mercedes and Tony Guilfoyle, embodied two rich heritages: her mother, a Puerto Rican educator, and her father, an Irish immigrant and military veteran who later became a self-made real estate investor. Tragedy struck early when Mercedes lost her battle with leukemia, leaving 11-year-old Kimberly to be raised by her father alone. Despite the heartbreak, Tony instilled in her a fierce work ethic and unshakable determination, values that would define her future. Kimberly thrived at Mercy High School, balancing academics with a natural confidence that set her apart. She pursued her undergraduate degree at the University of California, Davis, and took an unconventional path by modeling for Macy's and Victoria's secret bridal campaigns. Yet, her true calling lay in law, and in 1994, she earned her law degree from the University of San Francisco. Determined to make a difference, she interned at the district attorney's office before studying international children's rights in Ireland. Her legal career took off when she became a prosecutor in San Francisco, where she quickly gained a reputation for handling violent crimes and domestic abuse cases. However, in 1996, a change in leadership led to her dismissal. Undeterred, she moved to Los Angeles, tackling high-profile criminal cases and earning the title of Prosecutor of the Month. By 2000, she returned to San Francisco and made national headlines as a key prosecutor in the infamous dog mauling case. Her relentless pursuit of justice solidified her status as a legal powerhouse. But Kimberly was never one to stay in one lane. In 2004, she made a dramatic shift, leaving the courtroom for the television spotlight. She hosted both sides on Court TV before securing a coveted spot at Fox News in 2006. Her ability to simplify complex legal matters with charisma and confidence made her an instant hit. By 2011, she became a co-host on The Five, solidifying her place as a dominant voice in conservative media. But while her career soared, her personal life was a whirlwind of high-profile relationships, heartbreak, and reinvention. Her first marriage to Gavin Newsom, a rising political star, was once seen as the perfect power couple union, with many dubbing them the new Kennedys. But as Kimberly's career took her to New York, the strain of distance proved too much. Their marriage ended in 2005, marking the start of new paths for both. A year later, in 2006, she married Eric Villency, a businessman from a prestigious design family. Their lavish Barbados wedding and the birth of their son, Ronan, seemed to signal a fresh chapter of happiness. However, by 2009, their marriage had also ended. Despite this, Kimberly and Eric remained committed co-parents, ensuring that Ronan's upbringing was filled with love and stability. Then, in 2018, Kimberly stepped into perhaps the most publicized relationship of her life, her romance with Donald Trump Jr. The timing was significant, coming shortly after his divorce, and their fiery chemistry was undeniable. Together, they became an unstoppable force in conservative politics, appearing at rallies, fundraisers, and high-profile events. In 2021, the couple made a bold move, purchasing their dream home in Jupiter, Florida, a lavish mansion that symbolized both their success and commitment to family. Though their engagement was quietly sealed on New Year's Eve 2020, they waited until January 2022 to make it public. Their bond was evident in their public displays of affection, shared passion for politics, and love for family, even adopting a rescue puppy as a symbol of their growing life together. But despite the picture-perfect image, was everything as seamless as it seemed? Behind the smiles, the lavish lifestyle, and the political appearances, was there a hidden storm brewing? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the crack beneath the surface. Unseen fractures below the surface. beneath the polished public image of Kimberly Guilfoyle and Donald Trump Jr., something was beginning to shift. While they continued to appear united on stage, the once seamless bond between them started to reveal subtle but undeniable cracks. For those closely watching, the signs were there, public displays of affection dwindling, the warmth between them fading into a distant, almost professional formality. Their shared moments on social media, once frequent and filled with affection, became increasingly rare. Instead, their feeds were overtaken by campaign-related content, a shift that raised eyebrows and left many wondering if something deeper was at play. Was this new focus on politics simply a reflection of their dedication to Donald Trump's ambitions? Or were there cracks forming in their relationship that they were desperately trying to cover up? The transition was subtle but noticeable, and as their personal lives took a back seat, speculation about the state of their relationship began to swell. Friends and insiders were the first to whisper about growing tension. At the 2024 Republican National Convention, their interactions were described as distant. Despite sharing the stage, they barely exchanged words. Kimberly, usually a strong presence, appeared to stand alone, as if the partnership that once defined them had splintered. Some saw this as a sign of the inevitable toll that a high-profile relationship, under the glare of constant scrutiny, could take. Others, however, suspected something more. As rumors swirled, it became clear that the cracks in their relationship were no longer just whispers. They were visible for all to see. The pressures of politics, public image, and the constant spotlight were pushing Kimberly and Don Jr. in different directions. Was their commitment to Trump's campaign an excuse to avoid facing their growing problems? Or were they genuinely united in their cause? Tension was reportedly growing behind closed doors. Reports of conflicting schedules and separate living arrangements painted a picture of two people who were no longer as aligned as they once were. Don Jr.'s apparent indifference during public appearances only added fuel to the fire. Was this a man who no longer cared, or was he simply masking something far deeper? By the time the 2024 election drew closer, their public image had dramatically shifted. The once untouchable power couple was now at the center of intense speculation. The cracks that had once been hidden beneath the surface were now impossible to ignore. And with the spotlight shining brighter than ever, the question remained: what was going on behind closed doors? As the political stage grew even more intense, could this relationship survive the pressure? Or was there a deeper secret threatening to tear them apart? A scandal was about to unfold, but what exactly would be revealed? Stay tuned to uncover the truth. Unraveling Secrets. The scandal that tore Kimberly and Don Jr. apart. The cracks in Kimberly Guilfoyle and Donald Trump Jr.'s relationship, once subtle and barely noticeable, had now become undeniable. What began as hushed rumors and whispers about Don Jr.'s potential infidelity erupted into a full-blown scandal in late 2024, shocking everyone, even those who had closely followed their high-profile partnership. The tabloids were buzzing with reports of betrayal, and the truth was impossible to ignore. Kimberly, who had always stood by Don Jr. through thick and thin, was now facing a reality she hadn't expected. For months, she had been aware of rumors swirling about his relationship with Bettina Anderson, a well-known socialite from Palm Beach. What had once been hearsay now had undeniable proof. In September, eyewitness accounts detailed a private brunch between Don Jr. and Bettina, where their interactions were far from innocent. Flirting, lingering touches, and moments that seemed too intimate for just friends left onlookers with little doubt about the true nature of their connection. The audacity of it all seemed like a direct slap in Kimberly's face. This wasn't just a casual meeting between old friends, it was something much deeper, and it was unfolding in the public eye for everyone to see. For many, this public display of affection was an outright betrayal. But for Kimberly, it was the moment when everything she thought she knew about her relationship began to crumble. In the wake of these explosive reports, those closest to Kimberly were quick to offer their perspectives. Some friends claimed she was blindsided by the truth, unable to believe that Don Jr. had been unfaithful. Others, however, offered a more nuanced take on her situation. "She's no fool," one friend said, "but when you're that committed to someone, it's easy to ignore your doubts, to tell yourself things are fine when they're not." The complexity of Kimberly's emotions was now laid bare. Was she truly caught off guard, or had she chosen to turn a blind eye to her partner's actions in the name of love? Her carefully crafted public image, built over years of media appearances and political involvement, now hung in the balance. Kimberly had always been the confident, outspoken figure, fiercely supporting Donald Trump's political agenda. But now, in the face of personal betrayal, her carefully constructed public persona was under pressure like never before. Some speculated that despite the shock, Kimberly had simply chosen to ignore her doubts for too long. After all, it's one thing to have suspicions, but quite another to face undeniable proof of betrayal. The media was relentless, dissecting every move she made, every appearance she missed, and every sign of strain in her relationship with Don Jr. As the media frenzy reached its peak, public attention shifted from the Trump campaign's political goals to the scandal surrounding Don Jr. and Kimberly's relationship. With headlines screaming about Don Jr.'s alleged affair, people began questioning his judgment, especially when it came to his role in the campaign. Photos of him with Bettina Anderson fueled the rumors, prompting people to wonder, was this an ill-timed distraction for the Trump campaign, or was something deeper going on? Behind the scenes, Kimberly's response to the scandal was measured and calculated. Rather than addressing the allegations head-on, she chose to double down on her commitment to the campaign. Her focus shifted entirely to supporting Donald Trump Sr., using her position to rally support for the bigger picture. To many, this was seen as a strategic move to protect her dignity, to keep the focus on the campaign and away from her turmoil. But others saw it as a shield, Kimberly burying herself in political work as a way to cope with the emotional storm raging in her personal life. As Don Jr. Topper's alleged affair became the center of media attention, speculation about the future of his relationship with Kimberly began to swirl. Reports suggested that Don Jr. had started spending more time apart from Kimberly, a move that only fueled rumors of a breakup. The relationship, once a symbol of political power and unity, seemed to be falling apart before the public's eyes. By the time the scandal reached its peak, the damage to their relationship appeared irreversible. Kimberly, who had once been the most vocal advocate for Don Jr. and his family, now found herself at a crossroads. Should she continue to ignore the growing whispers around her personal life and focus solely on the campaign, or should she confront the situation head-on and attempt to salvage what was left of her relationship with Don Jr.? The weight of the scandal had already begun to take its toll on Kimberly. What had started as a love story now seemed to be unraveling, and the questions began to mount. Could this be the end of the road for Kimberly and Don Jr.? Or was there more to the story than anyone realized? A possible end of the road was fast approaching. But what exactly would happen next? Stay tuned to find out. Potential turning point. The fallout from the scandal placed Kimberly Guilfoyle at a pivotal crossroads, facing a battle between two conflicting paths. On one side was her unwavering loyalty to Donald Trump's senior campaign, and on the other, the crumbling foundation of her relationship with Don Jr. As the storm of speculation intensified, Kimberly found herself trying to make sense of Don Jr.'s behavior. How could he have kept such devastating secrets from her? The campaign for Kimberly became an anchor amid the chaos. Her speeches remained full of passion, her presence unwavering, and her dedication to the MAGA movement resolute. She projected an image of a strong woman, unshaken by the whispers and headlines that sought to define her. But behind that public resilience, the weight of her turmoil was undeniable. The struggle to focus on the campaign while managing the unraveling of her relationship with Don Jr. became a taxing balancing act. Those close to her revealed that Kimberly's commitment to the campaign was not an escape, but a conscious decision. She knew the stakes were too high to let her personal life interfere with the broader political mission. Yet, despite her outward composure, Don Jr.'s actions left her speechless, and the cracks in their relationship were starting to show more clearly. Reports surfaced that Don Jr. and Bettina Anderson, a well-known Palm Beach socialite, were seen together, holding hands while celebrating her 38th birthday. Rumors swirled about Don Jr. living with Bettina at her townhouse in West Palm Beach, instead of staying in the mansion he once shared with Kimberly. As the public began to speculate, friends close to the couple spoke of strained communication and growing distance between them. It was clear that neither Kimberly nor Don Jr. knew where their relationship was headed. Kimberly's deep-rooted belief in loyalty only complicates matters further. For years, she had stood by Don Jr. through scandals and controversies. The thought of letting go of their relationship conflicted with her values, creating an internal struggle that few could fully understand. By the end of 2024, rumors were circulating that their engagement had been called off after a year filled with arguments. What was once seen as a strong and unified partnership now seemed to reflect the complexities of love, ambition, and loyalty. Yet, despite the personal turmoil, Kimberly remained focused on the campaign. When Trump won the election, the countdown to his inauguration brought a new sense of purpose and something fresh for Kimberly to channel her energy into. However, in December, a new announcement would add yet another layer of complexity to her already tangled life. In an unexpected twist, President Donald Trump appointed Kimberly as the U.S. ambassador to Greece, a role that took her story in a new direction. The announcement caught many by surprise. For some, it was a recognition of Kimberly's qualifications and unwavering dedication, but for others, it seemed like a strategic move to diffuse the growing tension surrounding her relationship with Don Jr. The timing of the appointment raised further questions. While Don Jr. publicly expressed pride in her new role, it seemed at odds with the reports of their strained relationship. Some critics speculated that this appointment was designed to create physical distance between Kimberly and Don Jr., all while keeping her within the Trump family's orbit. As Kimberly prepared to step into this new role, the public continued to speculate about her future with Don Jr. Was this appointment a chance for Kimberly to carve out a path of independence? Or was it a carefully orchestrated strategy to protect the family image? The announcement created even more questions about the nature of her relationship with Don Jr., leaving many wondering if it was truly over or if there was still hope for reconciliation. With Trump's inauguration fast approaching, the couple's drama appeared to be sidelined by the political agenda. Would this new chapter offer them a chance to resolve their issues away from the public eye? Or was it simply a step toward the end of the road for Kimberly and Don Jr.? The timing seemed almost too perfect, raising the question, was this all part of a grander strategy to keep family drama out of the spotlight? Or was there more to the story than met the eye? The questions remained unanswered. What would this unusual moment reveal about Kimberly's future, both personally and politically? Stay tuned. A final break. The drama surrounding Kimberly Guilfoyle didn't let up as she attended Trump's inauguration, where all eyes were on her due to her public split from Donald Trump Jr. However, things took a tense turn when Kimberly found herself face-to-face with Don Jr. and his new girlfriend, Bettina Anderson. At the event in Washington, D.C., Kimberly, looking radiant in a sparkling white dress, attended in her new role as the U.S. ambassador to Greece, exuding grace and professionalism. On the opposite side of the room, Bettina, a well-known Palm Beach socialite, stole the spotlight in a dark, elegant ball gown, and the contrast between the two women was glaring. The tension reached its peak when both women were seated at the same table. Though Don Jr. made attempts to break the ice, the discomfort was palpable. It was clear that while the situation was charged, Kimberly held her ground, remaining poised and unaffected by the awkwardness. She even posted a confident Instagram photo later that evening, proving that no matter the drama, she was in control and moving forward with strength and dignity. Do you think the couple will remain quiet about the scandal? We would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.